I want to dedicate episode 30 to the greatest woman that has ever lived on this planet. Graham, we love you. May you rest in peace, and may the sun always shine over your shoulders.
We love you, Graham.
Hi, I'm Marcus,
And I'm Nick.
and we are Working Class Nerds.
We're the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Tuesday, November 27th, 2018, and you can find this I'm Still Stuffed from Eating Thanksgiving Turkey podcast on Google Play, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. You can find me on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern, that's Nickvern. In this week's episode, Marcus and I are taking some time to catch up with each other and then diving into a little bit of 5.10 news.
When was the last time it was just us?
I don't remember. I honest to God don't remember. This is nice. Just hanging out. There's no deadlines. You don't have to get a guest up in here. You just sit down, crack a beer, or pour a little scotch in my case.
Yeah, you're drinking scotch.
I'm feeling scotchy.
Oh, man. See, I'm all flustered. It's because usually we ask,
We're like, hey,
imaginary guest, what have you done this past week? Oh, that sounds so much fun. Moving on. So, Nick, other than being too busy to chat with me, have you had time to be a cowboy?
Oh, yeah. I sure have. I've been doing a lot of cowboy things in Red Dead Redemption 2. So, I think in order to understand like how far I'm into this game, I kind of have to give you a little bit of a breakdown as to how the game progression works. Marcus is rolling his eyes at
No.
me.
I just want to know, do you wear a cowboy hat while playing?
At my house?
Yes.
No, but I do practice my quick draw in the mirror every time I get out of bed now. So
Back to the story.
So, no spoilers. This is just like a rough, breakdown of. Whoa. So Marcus's beer. Sorry, this is a complete and utter sidebar. Marcus's beer has a perfect smiley face in it. You should take a picture of that.
Well, you're the camera guy, so. Is it coming out?
Yep. Wow.
Okay, Reddit post of the year.
Yeah. So anyways, back at the ranch, literally. So, just as a quick overview for the story, so that it makes sense when I tell you how far I've gotten, and this will be spoiler free, so don't worry about any of that stuff. Obviously, you play as a member of an outlaw gang, which most people know, but there's a lot more to the gang than just like the outlaws. So there's a camp cook. There's several, femme fatales, ladies that will sort of scout out places or people for the outlaws to rob or take advantage of. There's also, the significant others of the outlaws, at least some of them, that have like wives or girlfriends. There's one of the guy's sons is in like the gang, who's like a little kid. And then there's various other people, like there's a priest that's like drunk all the time, but like, provides some religious context and stuff like that. Some other people too that just contribute in little ways to help the group survive. So there's probably like 15 or so people in the gang.
So like you're in it's like a mini community.
Right, exactly. So it's a great way to put it. It's definitely a community. That's like fueled by, the tough guys sort of going out and robbing people, and that's their main source of income. So there's like 15 plus people. They all have unique jobs and personalities. And then sometimes, and then you're all in a camp. So you have a camp that's like your home base. And sometimes when the law catches up to you, you have to move the camp to another area of the map. And that's sort of how the game introduces you to other regions of the map. So you're not just stuck in the same spot all the time. And when that does that, that's when the chapter changes. So the game breaks up the story into chapters. There's 6 total. So each time you move a camp, that's a new chapter. And I am on chapter 4.
Holy shit. You've been playing a lot.
Dude, I've been playing a ton. But like some people, I could be done with the game if I was only doing the main story missions. But I like to do, anytime I see a side quest, or like a side quest is basically if you see like a stranger on the map, it'll give you like a question mark and then like a cloudy area to go to. So like you have to like look for the person that's going to give you a quest. So sometimes it'll be like the legendary hunting animals. So you have to like go find the crazy big bear or like the cougar that's lived.
So you do that?
Sometimes I do. I haven't done that one or the fishing one because that would take a really long time. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm not super into the hunting stuff, but I like to do all the other like side missions. Like I helped some priest in the big city area, or like just other side stuff.
So you like the main side quest. You don't like the side
super side quest.
Super side. I like that. Super side quest.
Yeah, I like the main side quests.
Right. The game looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm only playing. I can't imagine what it looks like on your setup because Marcus has a PS4 Pro. He has a computer too, of course, but he has a PS4 Pro and then a 4K TV. Right? It's 4K. And then I have a 1080 TV. Which is great, and then a standard PS4. So I can only imagine what it looks like on your setup. It's about the same because it's upscaled a little bit. The graphics are for the PS4 Pro.
The difference.
It's not actually 4K probably, but
I don't know about it. I doubt it's 4K. But what's really nice about it is it's the clear, crisp 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
and that makes a big difference in a game.
It definitely
because on my computer. When I play, if I'm getting like 50 to 60 frames on a game on Ultra,
yep,
a new game, I should say,
right.
That's unbelievable for a computer,
right?
In pure 4K,
right?
And I have a Titan,
right?
And I'm mostly at like 40, 35 to 40,
right?
Where that's where the 2K, they say I should have bought a 2K monitor.
Because that's all you really need.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because that'll give me the best picture. Because then you can get like 144 hertz,
right?
Like refresh and all that stuff, and the game looks incredible. Like those screens we saw at PAX.
Right. Those were all.
Those were 2K, and they looked unbelievable.
Right.
But for me, I'm just like I like the level of detail in the pixels.
Yeah, I do too.
And maybe I'm crazy because I don't own a 2K monitor, but I like the 4K. The problem is what I should have done is I should have kept my two 1070s and limped through for the rest of like another 8 months.
Yeah.
And then just bought the new 2080 Ti because that can rip 4K.
Right.
And now
yeah, it's kind of a big ask.
And mine does a good job, but like if I really want true awesome 4K gaming, I need two Titans and I'm not doing that.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot. Or
my wife would kill me.
Right.
I'd be dead. So, but to the PlayStation 4 Pro makes the games run better.
Yeah.
Which, in the way technology has gone, with consoles versus PC, it's always been like, so at one point a PC is stronger than the console.
Yep.
Console.
You keep wanting to say that up. Console.
And so at one point, when a system first comes out, it's at even par with where the computer graphics are.
Right.
And I find. But by the end of the lifespan of the
console
or the PlayStation or the Xbox, the computer blows it away.
Right. 100%.
But now with technology the way it is, the original PlayStation 4s and the original Xboxes, they came out and they were already old for the current times.
Compared to a PC.
And they were starting to like lose their market, so then they came out with the Pros and the Xbox One X and all that stuff.
And those can kind of close the gap a little bit.
They close the gap, but I think it's because the way the games are made for those discs or the digital downloads.
Yeah,
they make the games for those to run great on them.
Right,
and then when they port them to the PC, options are endless, so they can just do whatever they want.
Right.
Where I think my biggest thing about Red Dead and why I haven't played a lot of it is I hate the PlayStation controller.
Yeah, that's a good gripe. I like the PlayStation controller, but I know it like really messes with you.
Because I've always owned an Xbox.
Right.
Like I had a PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 1, but like as soon as the Xbox came, I was Xbox all the time.
Right.
And but the PlayStation 4 Pro, man, the games look great, they run great. But back to your Red Dead, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
With the chapter 1 that I did.
Right.
It was crystal clear.
The snow, it must have been really cool.
It was unreal because
it like crunches as you move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Snow is super hard to render.
Right.
So that was like ballsy on Red Dead's part.
Yeah,
we'll just throw them in the snow.
They're just slapping their big old dick on the table in terms of the graphics.
Exactly.
It's like, check this out. We got snow, and it's not cheesy where you're just walking on top of it. It's like thigh deep, and it mushes out of the way as you're trudging through it. It's really cool.
So I got to ask,
Yeah.
the 15 people in your community or so,
Yeah.
do they all want you to do stuff for them?
No, not all of them. Some like eventually in turn, like they'll have like little side missions that you can do, and it's cool. Like, say, like this isn't very spoilery, but like Dutch is the leader of the gang, Dutch Vanderlyn. His it's either wife or girlfriend, Molly. One of the quests that popped up is like, oh, Molly wants to talk to you, and she's like telling you something, and then but the quest doesn't actually have to do with her. Like, she wants to talk to you, and then Dutch comes and interrupts you and be like, oh, we gotta go do this urgent thing really fast.
Oh,
so,
I see.
So, like, while you might not, literally, you interact with everybody, and while you're in camp, you can, like, talk to them with, like, hey, how's your day going? Like, it gives you, like, a little greet option, and it turns into a little side conversation.
Right.
That sort of enriches it. So, it might just say greet. Sometimes it'll just say, hey, how's it going? Whoever. Reverend Swanson, and he'll be like, oh, I'm good, and that's it. But sometimes it'll be like, oh, like, I have this, like, crazy thing with my foot. Like, oh my god, let me see if I can go get some medicine from town from you, and then it turns into a little side quest. So, like,
I see what you're saying.
So, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So it, like, rewards you for sort of being friendly, or, like, just exploring, like, the extra community aspects of it.
Are you a completionist?
Kinda. I like to do, like, the main stuff. Like, the first game the only game to this day that I did 100% of everything was the first Red Dead Redemption. I did all the hunting stuff and the herb gathering crap, which I don't know if I'm going to do it with this one just for the sake of time. And I wanted to do it with Spider-Man PS4, but I just wanted to dive into Red Dead Redemption 2.
What's the next game that comes out that you want to play?
See, I don't know if there is one on my horizon. I was expecting Fallout 76 to be a game that I'm going to be like, okay, let's go play that. But it's not panning out that way. I will probably play it once it gets a little cheaper, but I'm not, like, chomping at the bit.
Right. Well, at the rate it's going, it's going to be like $19.99 in a day.
I know. Right.
And all the people that paid $60 for it on launch are pissed.
Yeah, definitely. But that's another conversation for another day. But no, I guess I can probably take my time, getting through most of Red Dead Redemption 2 here.
If once you go through the story, can you go back and do, like, the legendary hunting?
Yeah, I think you can.
Oh, all right. So
then that's no big deal.
So if you finish the story, you get everything, and you're at 88%, and you're like, well, there's no real game I want to play.
Yeah, I can go do the hunting stuff,
right,
or whatever bullshit side quests or something.
My problem with it is, again, the time sink into another story-driven game.
Right.
I can't do it. I'm going to get into that in a little while.
So, besides Red Dead Redemption, I've got a big old chunk of time for my section this week. I played Castle Crashers for the first time ever.
Huh.
Marcus came over. My sister Ariel was home from school, who friend of the podcast, Ari. She was home for Thanksgiving break, and we played just, the three cousin / amigos. We played Castle Crashers one night for like 4 hours. But it was a little bit of a debacle trying to get the controllers to work.
I don't get it, because I plug in my Xbox controller and it just works. But to get the PlayStation controller to work via Bluetooth... Oh, no, just to work off the USB, you have to, like, download a driver and, like, make it work. And I'm just like, this is fucking dumb.
It was a mega pain in the ass.
Another reason why PlayStation sucks.
Yeah.
And everybody listening to the show is like, this guy's an asshole.
I know. It's like, you don't even have an Xbox One. You have a PS4 Pro.
I would trade somebody my PS4 Pro and all my bullshit games for their Xbox One X tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
See you later. Anyway, what's great about Castle Crashers, and that's just a piece of the indie game world, right?
Right.
Is it's side-scrolling, and it's fun. And it's entertaining. And, like...
It was really fun. It was fun to just, like, not think about a whole lot. You know what I mean? Just relax. Like...
Have a beer
or several. And
just enjoy playing a game and being able to shoot the shit. Because how often do you play a game with somebody sitting next to you? Never.
Not often at all, yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
You're always jumping on Xbox Live or PlayStation, whatever it's called.
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. And you're getting in the group chat and then you're doing it and they're at home. I can't even remember the last time I played a local multiplayer game with somebody.
And you can turn and say, stop fucking dying. Don't stand it,
Give me compressions.
All right.
The compressions,
That was cool.
And, it's your typical Knight in shining armor story premise. You show up, and there's these princesses. And then there's these bad guys that come and take the princesses away.
Yeah, so you gotta go save them.
Yeah. Oh, and then we beat that first boss.
Yeah.
And there's a princess on a stick, and we're like, why can't we get it? And then I ended up killing Aerie.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, we have to fight each other to the death.
Right, to like, then you like win the tournament, basically.
Right, and then you get to kiss the princess, and then
right.
you go to the next stage.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, it was like, what I thought was cool is the premise is good. You know, it's pretty relatively mindless, like
It's classic fun.
classic 2D side-scrolling hack and slash. And then they added just like a little bit of like comedic elements or like nuances that are really cool, like having to all of a sudden fight each other to win the princess and at the end of the first boss fight.
Right.
Or like the animals like shitting their pants in the second level there.
Oh, and that like giant weirdo cat was chasing us through a barn.
Right, yeah, and then the giant weirdo cat chases you through a barn at the end. That was really cool too.
And you could buy that right now on Steam
For $2.99. Yeah.
I mean, that's what indie games are great because you're supporting guys who made a game.
Right.
There's some of the game. Well, when the game first came out, I think it was $15. I think I originally paid $15.
Yeah.
But it's $3 now.
Right.
I mean, how the fuck can you go wrong for $3? What can you buy right now for $3?
That gives you like it gave
A
us
double cheeseburger?
not even. I don't think. Well, maybe something off like the value menu or something.
Well, I don't even know. I
don't
can't
really
even tell you the last time I ate one of those. But it was the first thing when somebody says what costs $3. First thing that comes to my mind
probably
is
a double cheeseburger. That's a safe bet. Yeah, that's probably
Maybe a double cheeseburger and a small fry.
Yeah. What? Oh no, you're asking too much now.
All right. Yeah. All right. So the whole point of the indie premise is, you know, when Steam first came out, or for me when I first started PC gaming, Steam was the only place to go to for PC games.
Right.
And, you know, everybody listening is probably going to be like, oh, you could
have
play
had
an
XYZ
MMO on their own launcher. Yeah, but when I first got into PC gaming, it was Call of Duty.
Right.
So you had to download Steam, and you had to buy your games via Steam.
Right.
And I have a giant library of Steam games.
He's not kidding. It's probably like at least 50 games.
No, there's like 130.
I stand very
But
much
I have
corrected.
played maybe like 25 of them.
Yeah.
And my point is now I look at Steam as like, if you really take your time, because there's so many games on it, and like most of them are indie games. Like they
Right.
have their big AAAs or
Yeah, of
whatever,
course.
but their biggest thing is indie games, and that's why I want to try to pick out an indie game once a month and
Yep.
buy it. Even if it's $5, if it's $10, and then me and you play it and enjoy something that is completely off the rails, or it could be fucking terrible.
Right.
But one of my favorite games of all time is called Limbo.
Yeah.
It's a black and white side-scrolling game, and it's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
It's an indie game. I played it at PAX way back when PAX East first started coming around. I went every year.
Yeah.
And I played it. I met the developers of the game. Like, I talked to them for like 20 minutes, and it's black and white.
Yep.
And you're this dude, this little kid, and you do these puzzles. Well, when you mess up, it like decapitates you. And
Jesus.
it's like a horror. It's like a survival horror puzzle game.
Oh, that's cool.
It's one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, it must make you like super mega focused so you don't get your kappa.
Oh no,
doesn't
you're
get
gonna die no matter what.
Yeah.
because it's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. But I would have never found that game if I wasn't walking through the show floor and looking at all the indie games. I remember when we were at PAX this year, we walked by a game, and they had this big, giant side. What was it called?
Which one?
It was the fucking dumbest game we ever played.
It was a bad one?
Yeah. Shit. Oh, Mother Gunship? Mother Gunship or some bullshit.
Yeah, that,
Like
not to trash people, but that was not a good game.
But it wasn't that it was bad. It just I didn't get it. Maybe their demo wasn't great.
Okay, that's probably fair.
Because
to
like
say.
the developer was awesome and like
he was a really cool guy and he was like really knowledgeable and like really talked our ear
and
off.
there was like a line of people to play the game.
Yeah, so there was hype behind it.
Right, and there was people all around us, and there was a line to play this game.
Yeah.
And I remember me and you getting side by side to play it, and we finished it, and I was like, that's the dumbest fucking game I've ever played. Like, you're just running through these tunnels, like, shooting stuff, and it was like, and then there was a boss that was like, I remember at the end of the demo, you were in like a tunnel.
And the boss like continues to like chug towards you.
Yeah, and
it's like a giant
and every
machine
time he hits you, you're just, you
Dead.
don't die.
No, I died a lot.
Well, I died a lot too, but it was like impossible. It's like you couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We died a bunch, then you respawned, like, and the boss had less health. It was a little silly.
And I think too, I think that game was played with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
I believe like a game like an indie game should be on a controller.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it's not like a
I believe like at a show.
I believe most games should be a controller, unless it's a first-person shooter. Then I can see where you want a mouse, just for mouse and keyboard.
I think it should always be an option.
Yeah,
but like you couldn't play SOTOR with a controller.
Right? There's not enough buttons.
Yeah,
for your
I wish there was.
I know
that'd be fucking great. My life would be over.
Yeah,
like the baby's diaper would never get changed. Because I would just be glued to like a controller in my hand, just jamming, or trying to change the baby's diaper while holding the controller. Anyway, we had so much fun. What's another one? You ever play Rocket League?
I've played a lot of Rocket League. The Rocket League was an indie game and then blew up into like not an indie game.
No, it's an indie game.
Yeah,
it's still an indie game. You don't go to the store and buy a disc copy of that.
That's true.
It was just a digital download that somebody was like, hey, we're going to take RC cars, and we're going to throw a soccer ball, and we're going to put 2 goals, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Next thing you know, there's fucking esports for Rocket League.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of skill in that game, man. Like, I don't know. I was probably, like, mediocre. I had some good goals and stuff, but, like...
I'm terrible.
Some of my friends were, like, all the aerial stuff, like, I could sometimes hit the ball in the air, but people can, like, dribble it in the air and keep the ball in the air the whole time and, like, just go all the way across the court or field, I guess, whatever you want to call it, arena. It was crazy. That game is really fun. You can sink a lot of time into that, especially playing co-op, because then you can play like local co-op, so you'll split screen and like play online against other people, and be like talk to each other and strategy. Like, okay, now I'm defending, now you're defending. Like you switch off like as the ball comes and goes. It's really cool. I love Rocket League.
I had a lot of fun playing it.
When did you play Rocket League?
When it first came out, a few friends of mine on Steam had it, and I tried it. And again, I'm bringing it back to that cycle. I played it twice and never touched it again.
So you're probably terrible. Like, fuck it. And
well, no, it was fun, you know. But it's really hard for me right now to get. There's so many games I want to play, but I know I won't. And I don't know if it's because I love SOTOR so much.
I think that's a big factor.
Yeah, that has to be.
Yeah, I mean, because when you sit down and you want to play a game, you play SOTOR almost every time.
Oh yeah.
And if you're playing like something like a Red Dead Redemption, in the back of your head, it's always like, I could be progressing in my smuggler story class.
Yeah,
class story. I mean.
Or you're
crafting
an invasion force, so I don't get called out on more podcasts that I'm lazy and I've only crafted one thing in my whole existence in SOTOR.
Exactly.
Thanks, Zen. Make me feel like shit.
Well, you should craft some more shit.
I don't even...
Get involved.
They're like, the materials are in the guild bank. And I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm over here just shooting stuff. Moving
pew,
on.
Pew, pew,
yeah,
pew,
exactly.
Pew.
I mean, I guess I'm a failure at that.
Well, I'm kind of the kettle calling the pot black, but because I don't even know how to craft anything. I've never done that at all.
Right. But
I'm also not like... nearly as involved as you are.
Well, no, I would say it took you 2 years to play the game.
Yeah.
You enjoyed your Sith warrior class story.
Yep.
And
okay, let me circle back. SOTOR is the game I'm going to be playing after Red Dead Redemption 2.
I was just going to say, SOTOR is going to be your filler game.
Right.
So Red Dead comes out and you're like, see you later, all other life.
Right.
Then this next, and when you have a lull, you're going to be like, okay, I'm sick of it. I'm going to just go finish my Jedi Knight story. Boom. Right. And then Anthem comes out.
Or whatever
the next game is. You're like, fuck, I'm going to play that for a while.
Right.
And then I feel like you're always going to come back to SOTOR now because it's
like, always going to be there.
And the story's rich.
Right.
You have nothing to worry about in that department.
Right.
And you don't have to do ops or get roped into a SOTOR Unite again and spend your whole life back up. Anyway.
Back at the ranch.
Yeah.
So, Marcus, have you been gaming at all, or has it just been all diapers all the time?
I'm just going to put it this way. I changed some diapers.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, man. My wife is like a superhero compared to me.
She's just a diaper champion.
Well, she just takes care of everything. Like, I have my shifts and I do what I can, but I'm like the worst. Like, I put in my work, but
Yeah.
I'm at work and I come home and I'm tired and I feel lazy, but like I do a lot and it's just, she's just like superhero level. But nighttime, I'm starting to find my routine where I'm starting to come downstairs more than sit up at the peninsula.
Yeah.
And I have my phone on ring where if something happens and she needs me, I can come up.
Right. But you don't have to like just be
No.
in daddy daycare mode all the time because Carrie's taking care of it for you a lot of the time.
Yeah. She's been great and I'm still tired. You know, I don't care what anybody says. Like, she'll tell you, oh, you slept all night. Yeah, but every time the baby wakes up, I wake up.
Right.
So it's not like I'm getting that sound sleep.
Right.
But to gaming, last Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and not this past Sunday.
The Sunday prior to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, prior to Thanksgiving was my first week back with the Death Star Troopers.
Right.
It was great to come back. And so we went back to Gods from the Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of fun. We got all the way to Isaac's, and it was time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my first night back, I told everybody, till the new year, we're only going to do 2 hours a night. I think we only did like an hour and 45 minutes because, you know, just coordination of filling a role or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was great because it just was great to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And this past Sunday, I had to cancel because we had a tragedy in our family. So
Right.
I wouldn't say tragedy, but
Yeah, just a death in the family.
yeah.
That
So-
takes a toll on you.
Yeah. And I wanted to play. I think I ended up playing something that night, but I was just not in the mood to do it. Not.
Right.
But anyway, so I've been playing my smuggler. Don't ask me what level I am on. I know I'm on Hoth. I've been enjoying the story, but I can tell you, I don't like the class at all.
Yeah, you don't like shooting.
I don't. It's fucking terrible. Like, I'll shoot, like, a bunch of shit, and then I'll look, and, like, my heat of my gun will be, like, gone. So, like, I'm basically doing my basic attack, my one button, until it comes back. And I think I just got an ability to where, like, it recharges when I'm in cover. But it still takes for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm like, this fucking guy would be dead if I had my lightsabers.
Right.
This is fucking stupid.
Well, yeah.
Or the cover system. So if you're near something that you can cover and you press the 2 button, or, well, that's what I have mine
You know.
keybound to,
Right.
you'll just roll into it. But sometimes the fucking computer will, the cover will be like a million miles away, and all of a sudden you'll roll into like 30 enemies, and I'm like, fuck. And
So you just somersault after somersault after somersault.
yeah, and I
then
get
you're in a
out of
crowd
it.
People.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. And then, you know, some of the most powerful blasts that you have, it takes like 3 seconds to shoot. So you press the 3 key, and it's like, do 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 do. Okay, I shot. Okay, he's still not dead. Now here we go. Back to the 1 key.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like one. Oh, I can throw a grenade now. Grenade.
4.
Yeah. It's a 3.
Okay.
But close.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the class itself story is fun.
Yeah.
Because, you know, everything is snarky and, you know, you can be rude but not be rude.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to pick a dark side decision to be rude. You can just be like,
yeah.
I don't want to do that because you're an asshole, but it's not a dark side choice because the dark side choice is I don't want to do that and I'm killing you for saying something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the difference.
Oh, that's cool.
It's almost like they did a really good job of a stereotypical,
Smuggler.
yeah,
Yeah.
like makes me think of like a snarky Han Solo
Right.
all the time.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's been really fun.
Just the combat mechanics.
It's fucking terrible.
Tough to
and
switch to.
I drag ass playing it
Yeah.
because it takes so long to kill stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Like avoiding the ads and stuff like that in between missions.
It's just drags, man. But, you know, maybe I'm playing it wrong and somebody can message me and say, hey, don't be an asshole. You know,
You
do
do
this.
this.
You need this ability. You need this ability. And then
Right.
it's going to all be better.
Right.
I just feel like it takes too long to kill things.
Yeah, but don't forget you're a low level too, so you're coming from like a high level.
Yeah, but when I did my bounty hunter class story,
It was better.
yeah, like I don't feel like I ever ran out of heat in my guns where was stuck hitting the 1 key forever.
Yeah.
either way. Then last week on Friday, we went into the PTS. So the public test server is live, as you know, Eric said last week, and we've been talking about. So we Dent got a team together to go in there, and we ran Gods from the Machine. So the whole time I kept saying, "Are we doing hard mode? Are we doing Nightmare?" And they're like, "No, we're going to do story mode to see the changes
in the PTS for Gods from the Machine."
Yeah,
okay,
because it's tough now.
Oh, I know.
For a story mode, it's like a hard mode type
in the PTS.
No, right now.
Oh, I see.
The mechanics are tough. So we went. There's been some changes that make it a little easier. I mean, there's some things that aren't, didn't change much. But, in like the Tithe fight, when he does his like super strong AoE hit because his like rage is really high, we just kept killing everything to make him really fucking mad to see if he would kill us. And we only lost one person, and he did his AoE hit like 8 times, and only one person died. I was like, wow. And
it's a lot easier then.
A lot easier. And some of the mechanics they made easier. Some things do a lot less damage.
Okay.
So for that, it was fun, but, it just makes me want to do, harder content because
you're used to the harder.
Right, because once they lower the bar a little bit, we'll say, it's going to be, it'll be much easier. And a guy like me who's done it for a year now, I'm going to miss the harder way.
Right. It won't be as fulfilling when you get through it because it'll be easier to do.
No.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. So if you're listening to this podcast, we got a nice package from BioWare this week. Actually,
yes, we
today. Did. And if
thanks, Eric.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. So if you want a sweet prize, and you're going to have to email us at
The Working Class Nerds. That's THE Working Class Nerds
at gmail.com.
Yep.
And what's the code word?
The code word is OSIS, just like the planet name in 5.10.
Again, our email is theworkingclassnerds at gmail.com. Email us the word OSIS, and I will respond to you, and you'll have a choice of some pretty
sweet SWTOR goodies for courtesy of BioWare.
Yeah, and a little hint, you can either pick a digital version or a physical version.
Right.
The plot thickens. So, other than that, it's been a busy gaming week, but it's basically just been playing my smuggler.
Yep.
And I really, really, really want Battlefield 5.
I think you should get it. I like Battlefield, so
I like first-person shooters. I don't have time for a Destiny. I don't have time for Red Dead. Yeah, I don't have time for any of that, and I feel like of all the games that I'll stick to,
Battlefield's easiest to do that with, yeah.
And I forced myself the other day. Forced myself. Like, I sat down in front of the computer, I opened the SWTOR launcher, and I closed it, and I played Assassin's Creed again.
Wow.
Just to break the cycle. I played it for like an hour and a half, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. The graphics are beautiful.
Yep.
And I'm in Greece.
Yep.
And again, crickets.
Like, wow, this is really beautiful. This is really fun, but I could be doing stuff in SWTOR.
It's every time. Yeah. Where if I go play a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty or anything like that, or even Siege. Right. Like, I could play Siege. Siege would be great, too.
Right.
You can go in there and play 2 or 3 matches, feel fulfilled that you did something.
Right, and then go
And what
back.
do I give a shit if I'm level 1 for a year?
Right.
Because they're still going to match me up with level 1s.
Yeah.
There'll be a couple full max level people in there, but who cares?
Right.
I'm not doing it I'm not doing it to get
advance your rank and stuff. You
right,
just want to come in, play, and
to get a fix.
Yeah, that's what you're
saying. My first-person shooter fix and break up the games.
Right.
Because I could play 2 or 3 matches of Battlefield and then jump right into SWTOR and feel like I'm accomplishing
a lot,
all of it.
Right.
So anyway, you want to take a break?
Sure. We'll be right back. And we're back. So, in SWTOR news, there's a new voice from BioWare on the forums that'll be giving feedback to the community. They posted a little something introducing themselves, and it said, "Hey everyone, I'm Jackie, one of the world designers working on OSIS. I've been reading feedback on the OSIS daily missions and have seen concerns about balancing for heroics, such as the quote above. I want to clear up any confusion and highlight the design goals we have for them. For OSIS, we want to have some more difficult content that encourages group play, something to add variety among the soloable content we have. To achieve that goal, we're introducing Heroic 4 missions. We're reintroducing Heroic 4 missions, which some of you may remember from the base game. These are heroics that will be balanced for 4 players or 2 players and 2 companions, aka Heroic 4. Heroic 4 missions are not designed to be soloed. Players who obtain higher tiers of gear or who are higher skilled may be able to clear them solo with a companion, which we are fine with. We appreciate the feedback given so far, so keep it coming. Be sure to include in your feedback how many players and companions were in your group, the level of your companions, and the group's gear level. Thank you, everyone."
Jackie.
That's cool.
So, welcome, Jackie. I mean, I think it's nice to hear somebody else. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like a little extra input is always nice.
Yeah, of course. And with the going back a little bit to the game, people complain about everything. I'm going to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
George Lucas made episode 1, 2, and 3, and everybody wanted to kill him. Because it wasn't what they wanted.
Yeah.
Then, they come out with these new movies, and now bring George Lucas back. But everybody seems to forget that when he made 1, 2, and 3, everybody hated him for it. I mean, you're never going to make everybody happy.
Right.
So I think the Heroic 4 mission idea is fun because it doesn't take as long as a Flashpoint or an Uprising or something.
Right.
But what is fun about it is you can, jump in with a couple of your guildies and just have a little bit of fun for, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes.
Right, to do the mission.
Yeah, to do the mission, and then you get some sweet rewards and go from there.
Right.
But most of all, I think I'm most excited that there's a new BioWare employee.
Yeah, just getting involved.
Or a current BioWare employee getting involved in the forums, and it's just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I agree. So we also got some updates on the new tier of gear. It says, is this from Eric?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But someone from
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is from Eric. So Eric wrote, "Hey folks, for those of you who are familiar with the current Masterwork gearing plans from the PTS, you will notice some changes. Otherwise, this may be an introduction to how all of this works in 5.10. Throughout this post, when I refer to Masterwork gear, I'm referring to the new 252 and 258 item rating gear being introduced in 5.10. Based on our initial implementation, there were a few key things we wanted to address. First of all, getting Masterwork gear solely from PvP was more difficult than we would like. The implementation encouraged working directly to 258 while skipping 252. We don't have a problem with this, but it made getting any gear upgrades more challenging and expensive than desired. By stair-stepping up to 252 and then 258, there can be constant progression that isn't as expensive as trying to jump straight to the best slot. Also, we needed more opportunities for players to get Masterwork data crystals and gear overall. Players had no long-term value in getting 252 since they could not be upgraded to 258. So that's a lot of points. And then it also says, before we dive into the way Masterwork gear acquisition will work in 5.10, just a reminder that 258 gear can be crafted by gathering materials from a variety of sources, including Master Mode gods from the machine. This ensures that the new Master Mode in 5.10 is a very valuable source of progression for Ops players. Outside of crafting, there are 2 ways of acquiring Masterwork gear. By turning in Masterwork data crystals to a vendor for 252/258, or by receiving 252 gear directly. Let's cover each of those methods, and within each, the separation of PvE and PvP where applicable. And he has a rather long post.
Yeah, we're going to get through that, but let's just break this down a little. So, getting Masterwork gear solely from PvP is more difficult than so I believe that when you only have one set of gear, it should be equal
equal difficulty.
So obviously you can finish a PvP map faster than you can finish master mode operation, right?
Right.
But if they balance out, okay, it takes 3 hours to finish a master mode op, then, maybe 4 hours in PvP, you should be able to acquire best in slot gear.
So, just as a side note, I'm having a mega brain fart. Who do we have on before Eric that was a mega PvP player?
Nazir
was talking about this directly. This is his biggest gripe with the 5.10 update, that it's way too hard for PvPers to get gear.
Well, they know that.
And they obviously know that, and we kind of talked to Eric about that a little bit when we talked him on, and, he couldn't really answer because he was waiting for this update to come out.
Right.
It's just, so for me, obviously I don't really do a lot with this level of gear anyway, but it's just cool that clearly they noticed the problem, clearly they were working on addressing it, and now they have addressed it and are trying to make it more balanced.
Right. So they're talking about jumping right to 258 and skipping 252, and it's going to be expensive. Well, of course it's going to be expensive, and it should be fucking expensive.
Right.
The whole purpose is you get your 252s and then you slowly work to your 258.
Right.
If you have the credits or the materials and all that, and you want to jump to 258, and it costs you millions of dollars.
Marcus had his pinky up to his mouth for that.
But I'm fine with that.
Right.
Like,
it's the best gear in the whole entire game. It should be crazy expensive.
Exactly, especially if you don't want to work your way to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Through a natural, progression in
Exactly.
ops or PvP or whatever, avenue you choose to go through.
The thing that's interesting is they said they needed more opportunities for players to get the Masterwork data crystals and gear over wall. So basically, what's good about the PTS is when Galactic Command came out, like the level 70, and you were getting your command ranks.
Yep.
That gear, it was impossible to get those command points in the beginning.
Right.
Because they didn't put it on a PTS. If they put it on a PTS, I bet it would be closer to where it is today at launch.
Right.
Rather than. So they're taking.
Because they would have realized the problems. And
the people that are playing the PTS, even though I'm a dirtball and I only did it once.
Right.
But I don't want to spoil the planet at all, so I don't even want to go near there.
Yep.
And I don't really care about getting the gear until I can actually get it. Because it's like playing a beta. You ever play, like, a Call of Duty beta?
Yeah, there's bugs.
No, fuck the bugs. You rank up to level 30, and you're like, wow, this is fucking great. And then it's gone.
And then you go to the real game, and you're like, fuck, I'm back to zero.
Level 1.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
It happened to me in a sidebar. It happened to me in, I didn't understand what a PTS was. So I was like, oh, this is great. This is like the new update. I just played the new update ahead of time. This is great. And I leveled up 10 levels or something. And then the PTS went away because the update actually came out. And I was like, wait, what happened to all my progression? And they're like, yeah, you idiot. It was just a test server, like people on the forums. Of course it doesn't carry over. Like, no!
Exactly. So that's part of it. But they should have a lot of avenues for us to get it. So, even because they only have one tier of gear, it should be everybody in the game should be able to acquire it, even if it's harder if you're just a solo PvE player.
Right.
You should still be able to get that gear over a longer period of time
than if you're grouping up or doing
correct or doing
PvP
or doing the master mode ops.
Right.
But want
me to go into the Masterwork data crystal stuff?
Yes. This is really interesting for me.
So, it says there are two places where you can purchase Masterwork gear. Lord Furl, or Major Pusensico? Well, these are... I am butchering these. But anyways, Lord Furl or Major Pusenisco on Ossus. You can get 252 gear from those two. And it requires Ossus reputation rank between Outsider and Hero, depending on gear piece. For PvP methods, you can get one crystal weekly, which is a Masterwork data crystal. And this mission is to defeat both world bosses or earn 50 group ranked arena points. You can also get one crystal, new rotating weekly mission with a 50% chance of being a PvE objective. Also, there's in the PvP avenue, you can get one crystal weekly, which is again a Masterwork data crystal. And this mission is to defeat both world bosses or earn 50 group ranked arena points, same as PvE. Or you can get one crystal, new rotating weekly mission, which is a 50% chance of being a PvP objective. So it sounds like you can basically beat both world bosses in either avenue, or get the 50 group ranked arena points, and then it'll alternate with a 50% chance of being a PvE or PvP objective based on the week to get an extra crystal.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So it bounces back and forth.
Sure.
In the both category, they have written rare chance of masterwork data crystals dropping out of command crates at tier 3 and up.
That's good.
Which is sweet. And you can get 1 to 2 crystals from turning in unassembled components.
That's great, too. Because we all have unassembled components piled up.
I know I do, and I haven't even played that much. So as far as 252 gear drops go, it says, in addition to being able to purchase gear for Masterwork data crystals, there are 2 places where you can outright acquire 252 gear. Weekly, the daily area in Ossus will allow you to choose one of the 3 artifact loot boxes. The lower body artifact loot box for waist, legs, feet, or relic. The tech artifact loot box for main hand, offhand, head, or ear. The upper body artifact loot box for chest, wrists, hands, or implant. And then also, once you are in tier 3 of Galactic Command, there's a chance that an artifact loot lockbox, I've been saying loot box, I meant to say lockbox, containing 1 random 252 piece can drop from command crates. So it looks like you can get different artifact lockboxes based on which category of gear you want in the daily Ossus area. And then also, once you're tier 3 of Galactic Command, there's a chance that one of those lockboxes will just have a random 252 piece of gear in it from the command crates, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. I mean, but again, they're riding the command XP thing a little while longer, and it's just giving you a chance that you're going to get better gear.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So anybody can get it no matter what. No matter what you're doing, you have a chance to get the new gear.
Yeah.
Fine. They said some other additional changes, but I don't really
think we need to go through
it. No, they said there are some other changes to help support Masterwork gear, mostly targeted at PvPers.
Okay.
What are they, Nick?
They say we increased the current 252 disintegration rates from PTS. 252 gear will disintegrate into 175 unassembled components in 5.10, which is up from 9 to 45. So it's way more unassembled components when you disintegrate a 252 piece of gear.
Wow.
So and also says to help PvPers get the required reputation for the Masterworks data crystal vendors, we are adding rep rewards to ranked PvP missions. So it says daily Arena of Death, 2 Geonosin power cells, daily My Kind of Scum, you get 1 Geonosin power cell, weekly Go Berserk, you get 4 encrypted data disks, and weekly Time for Pain, you get 2 encrypted data disks.
Well, that's great.
And then Eric included a TLDR, which if you're on Reddit, you know that means too long didn't read. It says, if a player simply does 2 weekly missions of their chosen playstyle, they will be able to acquire a minimum of 2 252 pieces per week, or upgrade 1 252 piece to 258 per week. This does not include crossing over into both PvP and PvP, and any Masterwork data crystals or drops from command crates, or purchasing any crafted versions of this gear, which can speed up your acquisition rate of Masterwork gear. Let us know your thoughts on the changes to acquiring Masterwork gear in 5.10. Sincerely, Eric.
Well, I think that's great.
I think this makes a whole lot of sense.
And it seems to be that they made it a little easier for you to acquire the gear.
And it's easier and even across the board for whatever avenue you want to pursue. Right. I think this is great. This is just squaring up everything, making it fair for whichever playstyle you prefer.
Right.
I think this is pretty exciting. I kind of want to hop on and get some new gear.
I hope you do. Well, you got to beat Red Dead first because you know you're not going to play it unless you do.
That's true.
Yeah. So this Friday, November 30th, 9 p.m., Starforge server. Come join us. We're going to be on Voss. Whoa. So you're going to need a ship. You're going to need... It'll help you if you have the planet unlocked, but you don't have to. We'll be on the Imperial side. And join us for November's mega event. It's called SEMA San Diego.
SEMA San Diego?
Yeah. So do you remember the show...
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yep. So it's basically SEMA San Diego.
Where is SEMA?
Where is SEMA?
You got to find her?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And so there's going to be hints. There's going to be things that you have to do to find her, and it should be a great time. 9 p.m. November 30th, which is what, 4 days from now, 3 days.
Yep.
By the time the podcast airs, it'll be 3 days from when the podcast airs.
Yeah.
So.
Friday, November 30th.
And
be there.
And I promise you, you will die.
Whoa. It's going to be a hard challenge?
It's just
to find Seema?
It's going to hurt.
Oh.
And so the prize, we will have prizes for the person that finds her first. A hint to that, it's going to be early cartel packs from the beginning of the game. The original cartel packs that were released.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, so you're going to have a chance to acquire something old and awesome. And if all this sounds fun to you, which...
How could it not?
I mean, come on. And you're on the Starforge server, come find us. We want to play with you. Or if you want to go the conventional route, you can go to aie-guild.org and get our Discord information. And I'd love you to jump in the SOTOR channel and say hi, so then we can get you a guild invite. And if you play any of the other games that AIE plays, we can get you a guild invite in there too. And Zen and BC, the new rookies of the officers, they'd be happy to get you into the guild.
They'd love to send you a guild invite.
Oh, and Dent would love to get you in too. So, you know.
Yeah, BCAV, Zen, or Dent. That's who you're looking for. They're the best. They're just the best at inviting people into the guild.
Yep. And when you get into the Discord, ask for those three. You know. And then at the same time, Seema, Jana, me, and Max, Annapolis, you know, we'll get you in too, but, you know.
Not as fast. The other three are just way better at it.
Yeah, way better. Awesome.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.